Hello, and welcome back to Hidden Magicks, the actual play Dungeons & Dragons show here on the Chaotic Pod channel. My name is Harper, and we are going to start off by introducing the lovely players as well as what the guest that we have for the evening. And we are going to start, as always, on my right with the lovely Alicia.
Hello, I am Alicia. I'll be playing Jade Minot, good old Gal, mercenary, just looking to make a buck here or there. And it sounds like we're going a direction I can't remember because the player is directionally challenged.
We're going down to AJ.
Hi, I'm AJ. I will be playing Keon. My name's Keon Sharp. Local bounty hunter, collector of weapons. Trying to do things that no one knows what I'm trying to do, and possibly kill people on my way. Yeah.
Alright, and then we are going to be moving over to the left with our very first guest, Milan.
Hello, I am Milan, or Mallard if you know me that way, but I will be playing the ever incredible Ren, and no last name for now.
We'll meet them in the course of our story tonight. But until then, we'll move over to Darby.
Hi, I'm Darby. And tonight, as always, or tonight, this passage of time, I will be playing Connie, your lovely cleric of Saloon, with her newly annotated Bibles.
And then we're going to be going up to D.
Hi, my name is D, and tonight I'll be playing Maltion, the changeling sorcerer.
And to complete our lovely circle once again, my name is Harper, and I will be your dungeon master for this evening. For a quick recap, where we last left off, our band of mercenaries here had taken a contract together to hunt down some bandits. After a successful mission, they enjoyed a couple of days off in the city of Trivik, pursuing their own personal agendas. Some of them, indulging in nostalgia, some of them doing acts of public good, some of them doing some snooping. And they all received a message at the end of the second day to return to the Crow's Cradle, the mercenary guild, where they received their first job, where they were hired by the same anonymous employer to take on another bandit contract, which they all eagerly signed and have agreed to meet up at the Crow's Cradle at first light, where they will be taking a horse and cart to the Darmund Forest to the northwest. Now, before we leave town, is there any small errand that anyone needs to run?
Probably just make sure got supplies for the trip.
Alright. Easy enough for you to get that supplied through the Crow's Cradle. You can go talk to Velma and she'll make sure you're all set up.
I'd like to check in on the... Oh my god, I am deceased. Did you all hear that? Nope, then I'm not deceased. My soundboard went off. I would like to check on the families of the people, the groups of people who's here. Maybe a quick word about the case.
Sure, you can check in with Sister Liliana. Well, they're not going to be tried for another 9 or 10 days or so, so if you're back by then, of course you're welcome to see how the trial goes, but I know that it's not always the way of the wandering priestess to stay in one place for too long.
Yes, unfortunately, I have a job elsewhere, but I will return as soon as I can. How far are we going again?
You were told it's about a 2-day cart ride to get where you're going.
Okay, so 2 days there, 2 days back. I might be back in time. I'm not quite sure.
Well,
But I will do
regardless,
my-
thank you for all that you've done, Sister Connie.
Thank you for all you've done, Sister Liliana. That's it.
All right. Keon and Maltheon, anything that you need to do in the city before we head out?
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
So it is first light the next morning. You all meet up in your, some of you more morning people than others, outside the Crow's Cradle, where Velma is waiting for you with a horse and cart. She'll say, it's nothing fancy, but it'll get you there. Quick as can be, about 2 days ride straight west of here, and then turn north just before you hit the fork in the road that'll lead you to Kin, and you should be there within 2 days. Maps, right. I remember that one there, Maltheon, right? Maltheon, you wanted maps.
Please, yes.
Not usually our policy to let them leave the cradle, but seeing as you're taking a job so far away, Jade, I'm trusting you with these. Make sure you
Absolutely.
don't lose them.
Don't worry, if I lost them, I'd have to pay for them, so I won't lose them.
That's right. All right. Well, Godspeed. We'll be here when you get back.
You have a good one. Let's hit it, y'all.
Okay. And who is going to be driving the cart today? We'll do this in days.
It's first light. Well, Jade take first thing, because Jade doesn't have dark vision.
All right. So you all get out of the city, no problem. Present your identification at the gate, noted down. And, Jade, could I get an animal handling check from you? Because I do not believe that you have proficiency in land vehicles.
Sure don't. Yeah, okay, hit the... roll it. D20. Roll it. Hey, that's not bad. That's 4... Oh, no. 7? What? No, that's that's a 14.
Okay. So with a 14, this is a nice flat stretch of road. It's very well maintained by the Empire. And especially this early in the morning, there aren't that many travelers on it. It's mostly people coming in from outside town to sell at the markets. So you make your way without too much difficulty. Is there anything anyone would like to do while y'all are riding in the cart?
I think the only thing Jade, and this isn't the thing she would have said out loud, she'd check to see what jewelry Multion is wearing today. If they are wearing any.
Maltion would be wearing 2 necklaces, a double-banded ring on the right middle finger. And I don't know if you'd be able to see this, but they're also wearing a double-banded anklet. One of the 2 necklaces is the one that you gave to them.
All right.
Yeah, Keon's just doing some cleaning maintenance on his weapons.
All right. And what's Connie doing to pass the time in the back of the cart?
I think just shuffling her tarot cards and just keeping an eye out on the road.
Oh,
see if
wait.
anything-
Shit. Real quick. Harper, I'm gonna DM you something on Discord. I did have something I wanted to do before we left town. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, Luca.
In the meantime, what were you saying there, Darby?
I think Connie is just shuffling her tarot cards and just keeping an eye, like, absentmindedly shuffling and watching the road and the surrounding for anything.
Alright.
Suspicious.
Then why don't you go ahead and make a perception check for me?
All right, is that with advantage?
Yes, I would say it is.
All right.
And D, yes, we can say that that happened pretty easy to find a shop the night before. And-
Okay. Then I would be reading that.
Okay. So
Well-
Connie, you would also most likely notice, given that you are keeping an eye out and looking around, that Maltion is reading a book of Saloon.
Almost forgot I wanted to get that.
I got a 12. And these two dice are getting put in fucking jail because they rolled a 6 and a 7.
God bless.
Motherfucker. Okay, I'm not gonna slame you again, I promise. But do better!
Maybe.
Anyways, Maltion, that's an interest. That's a book of Saloon you got there.
Yes. Was just curious, needed something to read to pass the time on our way up here.
Well, if you needed a book to read, I could have lent you one of mine. Although they are a little annotated at the moment.
Not to be rude, but I don't think you'd appreciate the annotations I plan to do.
And what annotations might that be?
And Maltion will pull out another book to Ayun, the goddess of knowledge, and sort of hold it out. It's another holy book. And I go through and annotate the things that link the gods to older cultures that are no longer with us. Saloon was lower down on the list, but I figured it'd be on brand. So,
Interesting. I'd love to hear more of your research. That's蛮interesting.
well, that is sort of my whole shtick. I'll tuck the Book of Ayun away.
Well, if you have any questions about the church and its practices or the fragments themselves, be happy to answer any questions you have.
I will keep that in mind.
Cool beans.
All right. And Connie, as you continue keeping your eye out, you see it's a fairly quiet day. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot on this stretch of road. Occasionally you'll see a pair of horses and riders, or once what looks to be a wandering priest, such as yourself. You don't immediately recognize what faith he might be of, so you know he's not of Saloon. You pass another couple of carts coming in the opposite direction. At one point you get passed by a horse and rider who are galloping very quickly, and all of you would recognize the courier symbol on the back of his coat. Just a general day on the road. Unless there's something particular you're stopping for, you have no problem reaching an inn around nightfall.
Sick.
Your choice if you'd like to stay in the inn or if you'd like to camp out.
I think Keon would go for staying in the inn.
That's what Jade will vote.
Might as well.
Altion has no qualms against that.
Why eschew the comforts of society when we don't have to?
Essentially.
All right, so you make your way into the Jug and Jar, which is the way house here on the side of the road. It's not too crowded. This isn't exactly traveling season. It's the harvest. Most people are at their homes. So you are warmly greeted by the innkeeper who gets you everything you could possibly want tonight. Finest ale that we have around here. We can have fresh bread cooked up within the hour, anything that you'd like, anything to help. You can see that there aren't any other patrons.
Much appreciated.
How much for 4 rooms tonight?
For 4 separate rooms, we could do that for 2 silver tonight, and that would be your meals included.
Easily doable.
Yeah.
I will take out a gold and say, keep the change.
You're very kind, sister. Thank you so much. And I'll happily have my boy look after your horse for you as well tonight. No need to worry. Kick up your feet. Relax.
Well, thank you kindly.
I'll have some of that fresh bread that you'll cook up along with the stew. I'll be back down once it's ready.
Do you
Wonderful.
want... Kian, have you heard of this wonderful thing that some people do? I saw it in this city a couple regions back where they cut part of the bread like a little cavity in the center and they pour the soup into it. They call it a bread bowl.
God damn it.
I found it in a lovely little city called Panera.
Oh my god.
It's actually a lovely idea. I can't believe I've never heard of that before.
No, this was a joke.
Really?
You know what? I'd be more than happy to make the bread into the bowl for you if that's what you'd like, sister. It's no problem.
You know what? Why not? It'll remind me of my more wandering days. And if you need a reading, perhaps I'd be happy to do so.
As soon as Connie starts, as soon as Maltion sees that Connie's like slipped into her thing, just gonna make their way upstairs.
God, I can't believe we're having bread bowls.
What phase of the moon is it, by the way?
It is approaching full moon right now. I think it's probably
So,
2 or 3
awaiting
days away from
gibbous?
full moon.
Oh no, sorry, waxing gibbous.
Wax and gibbous, yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, Keon's gonna sure, I guess that sounds fine. I'm just gonna go up to my room until food's ready.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll send someone up to fetch you once everything is ready.
Yeah, and he will take, I guess, a key to his room or whatever, and then go up into his room and
So,
decompress.
DM, when I got to the top of the stairs, I cast invisibility on myself,
Okay.
and after Keon comes up the stairs, I want to go back down and out of the inn.
Okay. Is anyone still in the main room?
I was gonna. Graft is not the right word because I think that means hitting on, but talk to the bartender.
Okay, you can be talking to the innkeeper, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jade, what are you
Did
up to?
sorry.
I know
I was-
what you're thinking of, AJ. I'm first gonna ask what Jade's up to.
Mm-hmm.
Jade's just kind of relaxing downstairs with probably with an ale.
Okay. So Keon, as you walk up the stairs, it's funny, you can sense something,
Mm-hmm.
but doesn't remind you of any of your companions. You can't sense anything strongly. You can't really detect location.
Oh, interesting. I was gonna ask if more towards D, if Maltion waited until Keon went into his room, or did you try to go down the stairs at the same time?
Maltion probably would have waited until the door closed,
Okay.
then walked.
Okay. Interesting. There's something else here that I didn't. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So could I get Jade and Connie? What are your passive perceptions?
My passive perception is a 12.
Okay.
15.
All right. Maltiana, go ahead and make your stealth roll at advantage to leave the inn without anyone noticing.
That's a 17 on the die, so.
Okay.
18.
So Connie and Jade, the two of you are caught up in the Shurin hospitality with the bartender, and don't notice as the door very gently swings open and then shuts again without a sound. You're outside the inn, Maltian?
Okay. I'd like to go a bit of a ways away. And I want to pull my very old, weathered viol out of its case and close my eyes and play. And while I play, I'd like to psionically cast Calm Emotions and just play.
Okay. So you can be out in the woods in pretty much solitude, playing for as long as you'd like.
Just until the invisibility wears off.
Okay. And greater invisibility is 10 minutes or an hour?
Greater is, I think, only... well, isn't it a minute per level, I want to say?
Okay.
I'm going to double check that. Concentration up to a minute. For greater. Regular invisibility is an hour, I think.
Okay. So you spend your hour before dinner just playing in the woods alone. The innkeeper will send his young son, who's been tending the horses out in the stable, your horse out in the stable, up to Keon's room and just, Dad says dinner's ready, sir? And then you hear feet running back down the stairs. Keon, if you join Connie and Jay down at the bar, you see that there are 3 beautiful round loaves of bread that kind of clumsily the top has been cut into and torn out, and there is stew ladled into all of them, and you have 3 bread bowls of stew, and there's also one waiting for Maltion.
Could I have been talking to the innkeeper?
Absolutely.
So, we're on a little job out these ways. Something about a logging camp. You wouldn't happen to have heard anything recently. Seems like terrible news.
Logging camp around here? It's a little bit hilly.
About
Whereabouts?
I, Darby, have forgotten, but Connie would not have forgotten where they're supposed to be going.
It's like another day's journey,
Yeah,
right?
another day's journey, but I don't remember the...
The name of the forest you are going to is the Darmund Forest.
Sort of out in the Darmund Forest.
The Darmund Forest?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're old woods out there. Can see why you might want to be maybe cutting down those trees. The stuff out here doesn't... we're still a little bit too thin out here. The trees don't give great quality wood. I mean, fine for fires, but not for building. Not great timber, so, I wouldn't be surprised if there were logging camps in the Darmund Forest, but I haven't heard of any problems.
Does anything live out in the Darmund Forest then?
I have to roll something. Okay. I mean, there are children's stories of people who lived there a long time ago, but no one's lived there for as long as I can remember. I mean, maybe a couple of small towns here and there scattered throughout to help service whatever logging happens, but no major cities in there as far as I can tell. It's just a fairly untouched forest.
Mata asked, when you say children's stories, you wouldn't happen to remember any of them. As a traveler, I love to collect little stories, even if they're small local ones, especially if they're small local ones, and carry them with me.
You know what? I would love to tell you one, and he's drawing ale for you, and he's getting ready. He's settling in, elbows on the counter, ready to tell you a story as you eat dinner. Really wanting to entertain the first guests he's had in a while. Paying guests.
Yeah.
And they'll say, well, they say that over 1,000 years there were actually people who would live inside the trees, if you can believe that. People who could pop in and out of the trees. And their very life spirits depended on the trees, and they were built off of each other. But then something happened. I'm sorry, I don't really remember what, but for some reason they had to leave, and the trees sort of grew sad. It's not the happiest story now that I'm thinking of it. But the trees were, if I remember correctly, the trees were always sad to see them go, and they've been sad ever since. There's kind of a reason that nobody wants to live in the middle of the Darmund Forest. Like I said, it's an old, old place.
Oh, thank you for that tale. That is... You're quite right. That is quite sad. Maybe those spirits are still out there, just deeper in the forest. Who knows?
The only spirits I want are the ones that I've got behind my bar, miss.
Of course. Do I have a glass of booze in front of me?
Yes, you do.
I'll take a sip and just say, and quite lovely spirits you do have here.
Why, thank you. Please let me know if there's anything else that I can get for you.
Of course. I'm going to join my companions in our meal, but I'll be sure to let you know if I need anything.
I'll drop him a wink and then walk over to the table.
All right. And I assume that after the hour, Maltion has come back inside.
You're muted, D.
You are muted, lovely.
I will just walk in through the front door and say, well, that smells fantastic. Sit down at the table.
Maltion, love, I didn't even see you leave the door. You should have said hello.
Oh, I was too busy saying goodbye. So, these are bread bowls. I mean, it's a lovely concept. Maltion will start to eat, and will sort of like pause for a second, tasting the not charred meat and go, and then continue eating.
Hey, you could take the extra bread that they cut out and sort of dip it in, and in that way. And as you eat more of the soup, you can tear off the sides, and they're soaked in all the stewy goodness.
What
What was that?
I don't know. I'm curious though.
Never mind. I didn't roll it. Maltion will just nod and eat.
All right. And you all pass the mealtime, and Connie, you can either go back to talking up the bartender, or you all can go ahead and head to sleep if there's anything else you'd like to do tonight.
Or you could talk to us.
Instead of trying to squeeze information out of any NPC we run across. No, I am good. I'm just heading up to my room unless my companions want to say anything to me.
Can I find the child?
Sure, it's not that hard. He is running
What
around.
do you say?
Watching
Every time I say anything.
No, it's not anything. This specifically.
Where's the child? Where can I find the child?
Darby, you're very close
Okay.
to that with that last time of inciting a child.
Listen, a child gun
so-
doesn't even know your name. Fucking creepy.
So, yeah, Maltian, it's not too hard. His father has him running around doing all kinds of errands. He'll occasionally come by your table to top off your drinks. You can see that he's occasionally running out the front door, running back in. Seems to be kept hopping pretty quick.
I want to just catch them and go, well, seems like you do quite a lot around here, hmm?
Well, yeah, it's me and Dad and Ma, and we run the place ourselves, so.
How often do you get a chance to go into town? When you all have to get groceries, things like that?
I mean, we go to market maybe once a season, but generally the people who are selling just stop here for the night and we buy from them.
Hmm. Is there anything that I will take out 2 gold coins and
You
put
see his
one
eyes grow
in
huge.
and put one in both of his hands and say, next time they come in, get something that you want off the cart.
Thank you.
Of course.
You're really nice.
No. And then I...
He's just kind of like standing there looking at them and then like runs off with them, probably to go hide them like by his bed. All right. Anyone else doing anything tonight before we head to sleep?
Making sure I review the map and know where we're going. Besides that, no.
All right. Keon, anything?
No. I think he probably would have went up to his room and then probably before falling asleep, just kind of like looking at his at his glaive.
All right.
I'd like to cast send in to the person I always send to.
Okay.
Just like, hello, how are you doing? Miss you, etc.
No reply.
Hey, you up? Miss you.
You up? You up? Like, babe, what are you doing? You think Connie messages her one night stand with sending?
So, after a fairly well-rested night, these beds are pretty comfortable, depending on your standards. You set off again in the morning after a hearty breakfast that the innkeeper has prepared for you. And who would like to be driving the cart today?
I'll drive.
All right. I am correct in
Why
assuming
not?
you do not have proficiency in the land vehicles?
Oh no.
Okay, could I get an animal handling check?
That's gonna be a 6.
Okay. So, Keon, you're having a lot of trouble. This driver's seat was not built for a person of your frame. And you, for the first hour or so of this day, are finding that you are constantly, the cart is jostling you in a way that you are either kneeing yourself in the hands and doing weird things with the reins and confusing the horse, or the couple times you try to dangle your feet off the front, accidentally kicking the horse.
Sorry. It's probably just a lot of that the whole time.
So it is pretty slow going for the first half of the day. And you're seeing less traffic today. You're in between two cities, and there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of movement in between them right now. Not a whole lot of people coming through. There are occasional small roads branching off. And Jade, as you're reading the map, as the sun is starting to set in front of you, you see that you have reached, looking at the map, looking at the road, the turnoff where you're going to need to turn north to get up to Darmund Forest.
All right. Headed for the turn, y'all. Get ready.
Right, and Keon, after having been driving the cart for a while now, gotten a little bit better at it, but this is your first time really trying to turn the cart. It's a little jostly. It's not the smoothest, but you managed to get it onto the road going north. And you can see, whereas you've been driving through, for the most part, the kinds of hills that you tracked bandits through a few days ago, you can see that up in front of you, it seems to the land levels out, becomes gentler hills, and you can see on the horizon what looks like dense patch of black forest, stretching almost as wide as you can see. This is a large forest, and you are heading straight for it.
Eyes up. I think this is the forest.
And it'll probably take you another hour or two of the cart to get there. So you get there just after sunset. You are rolling through the first bits of trees. As the sun has truly set, it is no longer dusk.
Jade, where did they say we were meeting on contact?
Where did they say we were meeting our contact? Inner Jade voice, who probably remembers that.
So if you look on the map, you see that there is a point marked approximately, you think it's maybe an hour's ride into the forest, where you can see is the markings of where the small town would be. You haven't been given a name for the town. You've just been given a location.
Gotcha. So Jade will kind of like roll out the map and point, just like, oh, I think we got about another hour before we hit that town, right around there.
I would love to, as we enter the forest, be keeping an eye out, especially things maybe moving between the trees.
Sure thing.
Do I see like a?
Go ahead, Keon.
Oh, sorry. No, do I see like a path for this going towards this town?
Yeah, it's not as well kept of a road as you've been driving on all day. Instead of being, you know, basically the freeway, the great road that is maintained by the Empire, this is much more of a service road. It's dirt path. It's been it's been cleared. There's a path to follow, but it's not as smooth going as it was on the road.
Cool, that's fine.
With advantage?
Yes, with advantage, Connie. Would anyone else like to be keeping an eye out?
God forbid.
I would instead like to be reading the Book of Saloon, and I just want to cross-reference it with any knowledge that I have of sort of Empire-sanctioned gods or anything of that nature. I want to know the Empire's general outlook on Saloon.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for me a history check for that.
I had a 16 for perception.
Okay. 16 for perception. This is actually fairly familiar to you. It is the sounds of the forest at nighttime. You can hear the daytime animals bedding down. You can hear especially nighttime birds coming out and calling to each other. You can hear up in the trees the rustles of feathers as birds are roosting for the night. You don't really hear the sounds of any other people. You seem to be the only people around for a good long distance. Alright. And what did you roll for your history check, Maltheon?
14.
A 14.
Yep.
So you would know that the practice of Saloon does actually, the practice of worshipping Saloon does originate and is strongest in the Shuren region. It's slowly spread its influence across the empire. It is still strongest in Shura, but it's definitely a presence in every major city. Or almost every major city, you will find a Church of Saloon. They're fairly well respected. They are known for charity, for looking after particularly women and children and those with nowhere else to go. You would know that they are occasionally seen by the Empire as being soft.
Okay.
And as you're reading, the Holy Book of Saloon is not quite like other books that you're used to reading, other holy texts. Rather than being full of parables or stories or lessons, it is instead a book of fragments of poetry, which are meant to be interpreted.
Okay.
Alright. So, Keon, as you are driving the cart down the road, you do have some dark vision, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. You would find that it is quite dark. As you get deeper into the forest, the tree cover becomes more and more complete. There's points where you can't even see moonlight coming in through the canopy, though we are nearing the full moon now, and it's very difficult. You see only the briefest flashes of stars if you look up.
Keon, would you like me to take over driving the cart, perhaps?
No, I've got it. It's fine.
I'm gonna give myself Vigilant Blessing for advantage on next initiative roll. That's it.
Certainly. Alright. And, Keon, after about an hour, you see a light in front of you, a couple of lights in windows. And you pull the cart into an open area it doesn't really look so much as like a town as it looks like an encampment. There are a couple of really rudimentary log houses that are still standing. You see that there is what looks like maybe at one point was a grain silo, what maybe was a long building with bunks, another log building, have all been burned. And you see these two essentially log cabins that are still standing with light on the insides of the windows.
I think we're here.
I want to cast Intellect Fortress on myself.
Alright.
I'll have to take a look closer, I guess, or look around. There's no smell of bodies, is there? Or
You do not smell any dead bodies.
okay,
That's
that's what I was asking. Like,
yeah. No,
is there any
there's no
crispy
immediate
corpses?
No, there's no smell of burnt flesh.
Cool. Do these burnt buildings look old? Might this be the attack that was referred to in our contract?
Go ahead and roll me an intelligence check.
Thank God Connie's pretty, huh? 14.
14. At your best guess, this happened sometime in the last week. But you're honestly not sure.
Well, I guess we better knock and introduce ourselves. Can't do a job without knowing what we're really here to do.
All right, let's try to find our contact.
Maltion will stand up in the cart and say, "Hello! We're looking for someone. If there's anyone out here who could help us."
You can hear movement from inside one of the cabins, and a middle-aged human man with brown skin, close-cropped hair, well-kept beard that has definitely started to grow out a little bit, opens the door. And you can see that he looks to be wearing, in this light, some kind of a uniform. And can I get everybody to roll for me a perception check? And I would say that Keon, you are rolling with advantage right now. No, just Keon.
12.
10.
14.
13.
Okay. So that would be Jade, Keon, and Connie, who met the DC. The three of, Maltion, you are kind of grandstanding in the middle of the cart right now, and you, aren't really looking at the clothing of the man who opens the door. You're just like, a person who has answered my call. Wonderful. But Jade, Keon, and Connie were watching this person open the door. You see that this is an Empire Army uniform. He opens the door. He says, "Hi there.
Hello.
You're kind of far off the road. Can I help you?"
Yes, I believe we are. Was there a name in the contract? Of
There
who
was
the contact
not.
was. We are here to investigate some certain things. We're part of the, or we're working with. What is the name of the guild?
Crows.
Crow's Cradle. We've been contracted by the Crow's Cradle to come and investigate some things out toward the side of the forest, and you're one of the first bits of life we've seen in the forest itself. So, I was curious if you're our point of contact.
Oh, they decided to bring the cradle into this, did they?
Yes.
All right, sure. Yeah, this is what you're looking for. The bandits, they hit here, gosh, was it 4 nights ago now? And you can see that they burned down our grain silo and our barracks.
Did they take anything?
Some food, but mostly no.
Was anyone injured?
We have injured men, but for the most part, we've managed to send them off to the nearest city to get tended. We've got
Yeah,
kind of
they're
a... We're working with kind of a skeleton crew here right now.
I'd be happy to take a look at some of your injured who are still here, and take care of them. I'll flash my holy symbol.
Oh, well, thank you very much. We're always happy to have a priestess stop by. You all can come on in if you'd like.
No dead?
None dead, no.
Yes.
We're lucky.
I won't go into the house. I want to start looking around.
Okay.
Go into the field.
Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go and try to find this point of contact. It's like, oh, you all. Who would be the one that would have contacted the crows? Because we were supposed to meet a contact here.
So note, it was not mentioned in your contract that you were meeting a contact here. You were just told to come here and investigate.
Okay.
And find the bandits.
All right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm just gonna still come inside the house or what cabin, whatever it is.
Okay. And Jade, are you hanging outside with Maltion, or are you going in with Connie and Keon?
Jade's gonna hang outside all the time, but she does want to just before, she wanted to insight check everything the guard said.
Okay. Go ahead
Also,
and roll for me an insight.
Before Keon disappears inside, I want to use a bonus action to link me and him psychically.
That's 23.
Before he leaves my 30-foot range.
A 23.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to message you something, Alicia.
Okay.
Maltion will sort of, as you're stepping through the threshold, Keon, Maltion will say telepathically to you, I'm going to start looking around. Keep an eye on anyone in that building. I don't trust Empire soldiers.
Makes two of us. Ooh, actually,
Yes.
That's probably a question. I'm gonna message you something, Harper.
Okay.
This is why the show's called Hidden Magic.
Yeah.
we don't say anything out loud. We message each other.
If we were sitting around a table together, I could just walk up and whisper to you, but alas, I am messaging you on Discord instead.
This game would be a lot of whispers.
All right. And so with that knowledge, Jade, will you be joining them inside, or are you staying outside with Maltion?
Sorry, my phone was yelling at me. Now she's gonna lick it. She's going to stay outside with Maltion. Maltion hasn't gone invisible yet or anything, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I'm looking around.
She's going to stay outside with Maltion. And probably have a little chat with them, whichever conversation you want to deal with first.
Okay. We will start on the inside. So, Connie and Keon, as you enter the cabin, you can see that there are 3 other people sitting in here. No, sorry, math. No, that's correct. 3 other people. 3 other people sitting in here. You can see 2 of them are other people wearing the Empire Army uniform. And there is 1 person here who is in uniform, but not in the same uniform. And you can see that whereas the soldiers are wearing more traditionally, breastplate, arm guards, painted symbol on their chest of the Empire, you see that there is a woman here who has curly red hair that is pulled back into a high ponytail. And when she turns to look at you, you can see emblazoned on her chest the symbol of the Arbiters. And she says, you lot must have been the ones that were sent to help us out, are you?
Seems like it.
Alright, good to have your help. My name's Annabelle.
What?
I'm running things around here for now.
Keon.
And you are?
Connie.
Keon and Connie. Eh? Alright. Well, if you're here to help, then that's great. Where...
What can you tell us about these attacks? The attack that happened 4 days ago.
Bandits came and struck the logging camp 6 days ago. They scared the hell out of most of the loggers, who fled to here. Then, after that, 2 days later, the bandits attacked here, destroyed most of our food stores, destroyed most of the place that we can house men. We sent all the wounded and the loggers back to the city, and now we're conducting as much of an investigation as we can up here.
Insight check.
Sure, go ahead.
Don't trust fucking arbiters.
That'll be a 23.
I'm gonna message
Hey,
you something.
sure in 23.
Sure, 23, baby.
That's a thing now. Harper, that's my next truth. There's a faction called the Shurin 23.
That's it. That's nothing else about
All
him.
right,
Just a sure in 23.
23.
Bold to assume there isn't already one.
What? I swear to God, this motherfucker.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
That's right.
Yep. So that's what you get when she says that.
Did
We've
you,
got a skeleton crew that we're running out of here. We're sending people off in different directions. We kind of hoped that you could cover to the west of here. We've already searched north of the logging camp. Don't see anything there. We're about to head eastward. South is where you came from. There's obviously not much in that direction.
Do you have any injured here? I'd be happy to take a look at them if they require some healing.
No injured here. We've got 2 more in the other cabin right now. They're on cook duty right now, but
Right.
we'd be happy to
How
have
many-
you join us for dinner.
How many people total are in this skeleton crew of yours?
All of us that remain, it's me and 5 soldiers.
I have a Darby.
Sure.
Darby, how common is it that a fucking arbiter is planting her ass out in the middle of the fucking woods for supposedly just a goddamn logging town?
Roll for me. You know what? We're gonna make this a wisdom check.
Oh, baby! Oh, come on, Mama
And I
needs
would
to
say
hide
that Keon, you two could make this check.
Yeah.
them. That'd be a 19 total.
It's a day of not rolling well. Got a 6.
Go to 6. Okay.
Aw.
So Connie, you would know that arbiters, well, all of you would know that arbiters enforce the law on their own. They don't have to answer to any court. They don't have to answer to any church. They only answer to the emperor directly. What is unusual, Connie, you have never in your life seen this, and this strikes you as very strange. There is only one of them.
Right. Right.
Arbiters travel in
Right.
pairs. It is odd that Annabelle is here alone.
That's common knowledge.
That's fairly common knowledge. Most people have never seen an arbiter before, so it's more like a superstition surrounding them, but you know, yes, they should be in 2s. It is odd that she's here alone.
I feel like I knew that beforehand.
Yeah. It's just pinging that information as like something you should be like worried about. That was
This is particularly setting off an alarm bell in your head, Connie. There is an arbiter
Huh.
here alone. That is odd.
I'm curious, Annabelle. Is there not? I was under the impression that arbiters always traveled in pairs. Is there not a second arbiter here?
My partner had to go eastward following another clue, but I need to stay here just in case we could figure out exactly what was going on. Is Connie making that face, or is Darby
Connie's
making that
no.
face?
Darby's making that face.
Okay.
There was an arbiter that showed up at Trivik alone. Wasn't there?
Yes, there was. There was rumors of one anyway.
Fucking squiggly do, baby. Okay.
Okay.
You know that old Shurin catchphrase.
Squiggly do.
And with that, we're actually going to go ahead and take a pause and head to our crew outside with Maltion and Jade. What are the two of you doing? Our two without dark vision.
I will
Yep.
put a hand out and just go, what doesn't feel right about this place?
What doesn't feel right? Or what's different from usual?
I think they might be the same question.
Hmm.
This is...
Trees are different here. I'd say that.
To say the least, there's almost a... I feel like a great many people may have died here.
Hmm.
Not perhaps here specifically, I mean, maybe here, but this forest, it feels present.
Like I said, trees are different here. I got that sense. And I get the distinct feeling what we're dealing with is not going to be what was in the contract.
And don't you know, I was going to charge for unexpected complications.
They would not pay for that. You signed up as is.
Empire soldiers. That makes me less trustworthy.
That makes you less trustworthy?
Of them. I don't think I could be less trustworthy. Group of bandits raising an Empire soldiers' encampment.
I question. Well, we gotta wonder if you know what before, or she says that she's gonna try and can I do a perception check to see, if anybody's. I'm assuming we'd be trying to do this away from any townsfolk that would be listening or anything. Could I just do a perception just in case to see if I spot anything unusual?
Absolutely. Go ahead and make me a perception check. Unfortunately, it is at disadvantage unless you want to give yourself a light source.
Nope.
Okay.
Disadvantage. 4.
God bless.
That first one was good. Dang it.
Looking around, you do not see anybody around you. Seems
Right.
very quiet.
But yeah. So in that case, Jay's gonna say just like, well, I guess it depends on whose perspective, who would be the bandits in this case.
Mm-hmm.
I figure it's just a feeling I get.
Yes. Almost feels like it's... I wonder what provoked it. I suppose.
Because Jade was downstairs the whole time Connie was having that conversation with the innkeeper and everything about the trees and everything. It's just like, yeah, no, well, I can't say I'm well educated on different cultures, but something jogged my memory last night, and I don't know if the pay's gonna be worth it for this, but we'll see.
Yes, well, I suppose we should go inside. Stop.
Yes, with our completely trustworthy
Yes.
contacts.
Our host, that is surely not part of a bureaucratic system whatsoever.
Yeah, well, I say that because I already know they're lying about something. Yeah.
Cool. Now walk towards the cabin. How visible is the... I'm assuming that we're going to then cut to us getting to the cabin. How visible is the arbiter? Do I see her as soon as I open the door?
You would see that she's turned around and she's talking to Connie and Keon. Arms across her chest. Very blank
But can
expression.
I can't see any, like, the brand or anything was from the front, right?
So she's turned
I'll
around, she's talking to Connie and Keon. You can very clearly see the symbol of the arbiters on her chest.
I close the door.
As in, you close it before we've gone inside.
If you're walking in front, then you're inside already. But Maltion closes
She's
the
not.
door.
No, Jay was behind you.
And then I'll open the door and say, "Well, how are we all feeling? Any information we missed out on?"
You must be the rest of the party that were joining this group here?
Yes,
Indeed.
Maltion. Pleasure.
I'm Annabelle. I'm heading up the operation here. I was just telling your companions that we'd like for you to scout westward of here. We're going to take the crew and go eastward and see if we can't catch the bandits where they're at. We're not sure exactly where they're camped.
Are we going right this instant, or do we have a moment to catch our breaths?
I suppose if you need a moment to rest, but soon is best.
Alright. Is there anything else you can tell us about? Oh, what?
I was gonna say, did you see my message?
I saw your message.
Okay. Making sure.
Would you go ahead? I will tell you what to roll, but you're rolling for me now.
Oh boy. Is Maltion having a panic attack? Maybe.
Maltion, you
You'll
and
have to
Connie are in
roll
the
an
same
insight
fucking
check.
boat. Oh, can I for funsies?
All right,
roll
so
an
Mal,
insight
I'm gonna
check
need
on
2
Maltion?
rolls for you. One for stealth, which is at advantage, and one for sleight of hand.
Well, I rolled my stealth,
Okay.
which was a total 21,
Okay.
and then sleight of hand. The sleight of hand doesn't have advantage.
The sleight of hand does not have advantage. No.
I'm gonna roll a different die because these two literally just betrayed me. Okay, that'll be a 16 for the sleight of hand.
Okay. You're successful.
They just
Good to know.
motherfucker. Okay. Can I insight check Keon? Or not Keon, sorry. Maltion?
Yeah, good.
I was about to say, what did I do?
Exist! I'm kidding. Was that a yes or? Wait. can
Yes, it was yes.
Okay. My passive insight's an 18 BT dubs.
Are you trying to keep your composure right now, Malty?
Oh, 1,000,000%, which would
Please.
be a deception check.
You could also make it performance. I would let you do either.
Okay, I'm gonna go with deception because I am proficient in that. What'd you get, Connie?
26. What'd you get?
Natural 20. 28.
Ah, damn! Damn!
Everything is fine.
5.
I'm fine. Everything is fine.
Just, is there anything you can tell us about how they attacked? How many there were approximately? What weapons they used?
Not really. They set the grain silo on fire first. That was most of our food, so most of our boys went to put it out, and that's when the barracks caught on fire.
Did you see any people setting fires?
Nobody.
Insight check.
Go ahead.
I don't trust this one.
Why ever not? She's an arbiter. She's just an agent of the law.
What? Anyways, that is an 8 plus 9. What is an 8 plus 9?
To 17.
17.
Thank you.
17.
So-
She's telling you the truth. They did not see anyone set the fires.
Question to the mods in the future of the Chaotic Creation channel. Have you already made the insight check counter for this show? If not, you should.
He
I would
definitely
like
should.
to. I'd like to say to the what is her name? The arbiter.
Annabelle.
Annabelle.
I would like to say to Annabelle, have you considered that whomever started the fires was invisible? Magic user?
It's definitely one thing we're exploring. It's one of the reasons I'm here.
I see.
When did you
And
arrive?
you
I arrived not too long after the everything went down, honestly. I got word that it happened when my partner and I were almost to Trivik to the east. I turned back around and came this way, and she continued eastward.
Insight check, please.
Sure, go for it.
That's another one for whoever, if someone is in
It's
the
another one
future.
for the
keeping
counter.
It's
count.
gonna change to Harper, your lawful nerdy paladin, and Darby, your tired insight check.
That's it.
That will be a 19 plus 8 for a total of 27.
27.
She's shooting straight with you.
Okay, so she came. Okay.
Yep, she was
Interesting.
traveling eastward to Trivik with her partner, and then she turned back around.
Have you kept in contact with your partner? Have they found anything to the east?
I'm very sorry. That's gonna be classified information.
Of course. Well, any more questions?
Do you know who could have contracted the Crow's Cradle to help with this investigation?
Well, I suppose someone who wanted to help us figure out who started these fires and who drove us out of the forest.
Well, it's just, I was curious if we're not going to be having an open investigation with this, then I don't really know that will be all that useful if the important facts are kept out of circulation.
Who hired you to do the job is not important. What is important is if you can do it or not, and I don't see how who hired you is relevant.
Because who hired us has say over the information you're not giving us, which would assist in us doing our job properly.
And no offense, if two orbiters are on the job, why contact a guild in the first place if they have orbiters here?
It's a big forest. There's a lot of land to cover, and my partner and I were on a different job before I got this call. That's why she continued eastward.
I see.
Now, come on, y'all. As you can see, they are quite capable of handling. You said you wanted to do a sweep of the east section and you wanted us to do west. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Why don't we just go ahead and take care of that west sector after we've rested? You know, we don't all have empire stamina. Some of us got to rest in between travel. But we'll be sure to handle that west section for you.
All right.
Passive aggressiveness towards Empire? No. In this party? No.
I'm just some friendly advice. It's better hunting at night. They're more likely to be staying in one place. They're pretty good at hiding during the day.
Fair enough.
How long
So
have we been
you've-
in this conversation? Just
So
so.
You've
you
been in this
have seen them
conversation
at
for
night?
about 15 minutes.
How how's my head?
You are pinging. It's odd. You've never spent this much time in the close company of an arbiter before. And you're pinging some kind of an aura off of her, but it feels wrong. Looking directly at her for too long almost makes you a little nauseous.
Can I do the check?
Yes, you can.
Do the check.
Do the law.
Do the la 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 la. Getting other dice. Will this help me? What is the check? Oh, right. That will help me. I just got a 19.
Okay.
Hey.
So looking at her and examining the aura around her, at first you think that it's just like a mild, like, been in the cart all day, a little cart sick, not feeling so great. But the longer you look at her and are in her presence, the more that it starts to feel wrong, and you get a feeling in the pit of your stomach that is just nausea. She has some kind of an aura about her, and there is something off about it, and it should not exist, is the vibe that you get.
Did we see Keon looking a little ill?
Keon has your composure.
Keon Keon's going to is like, well, if we're done here, excuse me, and he's gonna leave.
All right, report
Okay.
back
Take a
here
look out.
tomorrow. What you find.
Sounds
Sorry,
If
just
we don't
real
hear from
quick
you, we'll assume you're dead.
Understandable. Real quick question though, because that last statement confused me. Not that one you just did, but before my companion left. You said it's easier hunting at night, but then before that you said you haven't gotten to look at them. I'm a little confused which statement tracks.
Well,
It's my job to notice these things.
It's usually easier hunting at night. That's when most people go to bed, and that's when it's easier for us to hunt. They can hide during the daytime.
If you say so. All right. Well, I'll join my companion in settling up for the night. You two ready?
cool. Let's go.
All right.
Let's go westward.
All right.
West it is.
And you four exit the cabin. The soldiers and the arbiter are staying in there. Make for me a perception check, all four of you.
Do I get advantage?
Yes, actually, you do.
I'm getting a headache. I got a 7. 7 crew.
Natural
Hey!
1.
7 Forge.
Wow.
24.
Okay, this is perfect, actually.
Uh-oh. I don't
So,
want to be
Maltion, Jade, and Keon, all three of you are, in different ways, thrown off by the interaction that you just had. The Arbiter has a presence that it is hard to be in for an extended period of time. But, Connie, there's almost a familiar feeling on the air, one that you haven't felt for... Gosh, it's been over a decade since you've gotten this feeling. And you're
Looking
glancing around, and you happen to glance at the cart that you came in on. And the right rear wheel has been completely broken in half.
Alright.
Do
What the heck did we do?
And your cart is not gonna be moving tonight.
Alright. Can I go investigate? I'm just gonna quietly investigate, walk over to the cart.
Certainly.
Looks like the hunt is afoot.
Fucker. That's what you were breaking. Alright. Do I just roll investigation?
Yes, go ahead.
Alright. Or can I roll the familiar feeling? Can I try and follow it?
Certainly you can. Go ahead and make for me a survival check at advantage.
Okay.
And
just say
Ren,
that I can-
I'm gonna need from you another stealth check.
I'm
I
see
still
if I
have
can
all
get-
of my things that I had before, correct?
Yes, you do.
I'm just
Alright.
gonna look around real quick. I'll be right with you all.
Did that include advantage?
Yes.
That's 2 of the same number. That gives me a total of 34.
That'll do.
Motherfucker! How was I supposed to beat that? I know what spell you're using. I fucking
Darby,
know.
what did you roll for? What did
What do you
Connie
mean
roll
spell?
for her survival?
15.
I don't know magic.
15. So, Connie, you are following this sense. You're following. You've now noticed there are some signs on the ground, and you're trying to follow them, and they lead you to the edge of the clearing, to the edge of the trees. And you're looking around, and you look up, and you don't see anything. But you can tell. You felt something familiar.
Ren?
No response.
Yeah.
And Ren, from your position, you can see coming out of the cabin. You see a human woman with black hair. You see a tall bugbear with a large glaive strapped to his back. You see a half-orc wearing some kind of dyed cloth with flowing pants. And you almost recognize her. She looks familiar. If you had been able to capture an image of her and age it, you think this is what she would look like now.
Do I notice any familiar sights on the apparel or anything like that might indicate something?
Roll for me a perception check.
Oof. That's only a 17.
So as she walks out to the edge of the woods and very softly calls out, Ren, you can see that tied around her wrist, just at the very edge of her priestess's robes, is a small canvas satchel that you recognize.
And I turn around and sneak away.
Okay.
Can I cast sending?
Certainly you can. What would you like to say?
Right? I'm sitting here like this is just.
Do you guys
that's
need a moment?
exactly what I'm thinking. That's
You guys need
exactly
a
what
moment?
I'm
We can
thinking.
leave.
Hush, 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 hush. Connie, what do you say?
Ren? Is that you?
Ren, you hear Connie's voice, which you have not heard in 13 years, in the back of your head.
I'll see you inside the forest.
And that is where we are going to take our first break for the night. So please go ahead, everyone. Take a break, grab some water, get your bios in. We will be back here in 10 minutes to continue with tonight's episode of Hidden Magicks. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Hidden Magicks. We left off before the break with a rather mysterious message from Ren to Connie, but I want to take a quick moment to check back at the cart with the broken wheel with our 3 other party members, Maltion, Jade, and Keon. You have all just been in close quarters for about 15 minutes with an arbiter. How are you feeling? What's the vibe right now?
Well, Keon feels like he's about to throw up. But the thing is, I don't think he feels any better outside in this forest. Because probably something else is pinging him. And it's also probably making him more sick.
All right. Jade, how you feeling?
Jade's probably fine. This is not the most stressful situation she's been in, so she's not necessarily comfortable, but fine enough.
Mm-hmm. And Maltion, how are you feeling?
I'm mentally keeping track of how many people I'd have to kill if I started with her in this logging town.
Okay.
So if I see any guards, I'm just adding faces to a list of 7, 8, like just taking note of how many guards are here.
She said other than the 3 that was in there was 5 more.
2 more. 5 total.
Oh, so 5 total. And then the other arbiter who's on their way back.
As far as you know, the other arbiter just continued eastward, and you heard rumors that she had been in Trivik and then kept going east. So she is, to your knowledge, at least 3 days travel away.
Why are they split, though? Why are they split? Split? Ignore me.
So, Connie, you have just heard from Ren that they'll see you deeper in the forest.
I'll walk back to the group. So, shall we go westward? Trying to keep composure.
So,
Yeah, just give me a second. God.
Do you need?
You got a hot lead? I thought we were gonna rest for a little bit, but if you think we should just go ahead and go now.
I would say, based on your mental states, the 3 of you, Jade, roll an insight check on Connie.
Okay.
Can I roll?
Deception? Go ahead.
Can I make it?
You can try to make it performance if you're trying to keep composure.
I'm proficient in deception.
Okay.
I'm proficient in deception.
Oh no.
Charisma checks. I don't
Natural
know.
one.
That's one. I rolled a fucking 2. Where?
Hey.
that's
Okay, so Connie is barely keeping it together, but Jade, you are telling yourself that you're fine.
I got that's a 10 total. Or no, sorry. That's a 6 total for a deception.
So wait, so we have the same total. I just rolled a 1.
Yeah. So Connie, go ahead.
4.
No, I mean, go ahead. What were you saying?
Oh, I was gonna say, well, since we're about to head out into the forest, and we probably, don't want to. You know what?
No
Let's
need
just
to
go.
dawdle.
You know what?
I think
Let's just go.
yes.
Let's
I
go.
think
Wait, is the wheel broken?
Yes, the wheel.
Here we go.
Shit. Yes, it looks like someone broke the wheel on our cart, but we don't need to worry about that. Do we have torches? We should carry
think we-
torches into the cart.
well, I
Because
think we
we
kind
got- I
of need
got
to worry
torches.
about it, considering
Yeah.
there's.
Come on.
Let's go. We can go right now.
I
I
can-
did send another message to you, Harper.
Okay.
I guess I can fix the wheel when I come back. But
I'll go in front.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
So I'm
Yeah.
just walking
Okay,
through
do
the
you
forest.
want the
then.
torch or no? Okay, I guess I'll hold it.
It's for you all. It's for you all. I'm gonna. Connie's just like power
Alright.
walking
Okay.
into the forest.
All right.
I think-
so.
Okay.
I think we're good without taking the horse and carriage.
Yeah,
I don't think
no,
that.
I figured
I
we'd
don't
go.
think. I think 1, the horses are tired, and 2, I don't think any of us should drive these horses right now.
No, definitely not in hair.
Out of them.
All right.
Does Jade have a torch lit?
Yes. Yeah, Jade has a torch lit.
Okay.
So should
Do
we
you
like?
want one? I got
spread
another one
a
if
bit,
you want
or-
one as well. I know you can do your little thing, but
No, I can. My race is gifted with sight in the dark. It's not as great as some people's, but it's sufficient.
So as I'm
All right.
assuming, dude, we're just kind of walking and talking.
Yeah, we're walking. Yeah, 'cause
so,
Connie is left.
Connie is left, but
I'd say you all managed to catch up to her.
She's
Okay.
not like running. She's just kind of
Mhm.
like already sort of. Walking.
do we want to spread out a little bit to kind of cover more area, but also keep each other in check?
So,
Uh,
as you all catch up to Connie, you see, and Connie, you feel that there is a small pricking of claws on your shoulder. And you look down, and there's a very small sparrow sitting there. And the
On
sparrow...
all of our shoulders?
No, on Connie's shoulder.
Okay.
And the sparrow says, loud enough for all four of you to hear, follow the tree marks. Watch for mud.
Thank you, little sparrow. I'll just.
And it'll flutter away.
okay,
Nah.
that one's new.
Did that
Now I
bird
wanna
just talk?
Now I want to insight check Connie.
Go ahead.
Now-
All three of you can make an insight check on Connie.
Can I make a new deception roll?
How are you attempting to deceive them?
Given that, my hat has this lovely veil on it, I am going to sort of just keep my eyes following the bird and just watch the bird and focus on the bird. Nothing else.
You can
The bird.
make a deception roll at disadvantage.
Like, the bird still talks.
The bird talked.
Yeah.
That's a 19.
It's the fact that the
Was
bird
that a
talked.
what, KJ?
It's the fact that the bird talked and Connie's response was like, "Okay, bird, I
Okay,
will trust you
yeah.
implicitly." And it's just like, this is the most suspicious person I've ever met. That's not me.
I rolled a 16.
Is that the dice, Gio? That's the dice.
Oh, wow. A
Get-
16 at disadvantage.
Uh-huh. It was a 12 and a 14.
Okay.
19
Keon rolled a natural 1. Maltion, what have we got?
I rolled a 16, so 22.
Okay, so, Keon, you are just like, you're still feeling kind of queasy from the Arbiter conversation, and now you're like, and now there's a talking bird. I think I might be going a little insane. But Jade and Maltion, you catch something off about Connie's vibe. From the moment that since she has come back from the edge of the forest till now, she's been acting weirder than you're used to Connie acting.
I think Jade's gonna actually like, kind of like grip the shoulder that the sparrow landed on, be like, Connie, Shurin to Shurin right now. Why don't you just go ahead and tell us if you're good with tree folk or not?
Good with tree folk. What?
Yeah.
Connie, I will be.
Because I'm not aware of the Sylvan conversation that happened. So
I
why would
will
I say in the
be
bar?
entirely honest with you right now.
Yeah.
I don't exactly feel safe. What with an arbiter suddenly being here and this suddenly being a very empire thing.
No, I agree. I don't. And I think we're.
All right. Who are we meeting, Connie? Who?
I would love to trust you.
Someone
But there's
who. might not have-
There's also suddenly an arbiter in empire business. And if I find that you're acting weird because you've brought me to an arbiter,
Maltion, I promise you that I want nothing to do with arbiters. And that is the whole and honest truth. I'd swear my life on the Book of Saloon, on everything. To say that I'm not exactly jazzed that a arbiter is here as well. That
Then-
being an arbiter alone
then why are you acting odd? Because I'd love for a reason that is not that, but that's the only thing that I can hone in on at the moment.
Multion, let's
I think
Multion, let's make it simple. Do you trust Connie more or the Empire more? I'm gonna guess Connie. So with that in mind, we're gonna go ahead and meet Connie's friend, who again I feel like is a very big fan of trees, but that's a guess. And
This
we'll
is
keep
confirmed.
going. Keon, why are you green? I'm confused. You know what? Whatever. It doesn't matter. Keep walking.
This isn't a friend.
Wait,
but
did I
it is
just change
someone-
colors?
I assume because you look ill. That's what
Oh.
it is.
Can a bugbear grow green in the face?
This is a friend would be a generous word for what this person is, but they're not someone who would I presume agree with an arbiter given what's happened. So
Then
Trust me.
please follow the tree marks.
I will eyes peeled for tree marks. Fucking
They are painfully obvious. No faith in that you would notice them if they were subtle.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I'm just wondering.
Then I would say that all four of you with your passive perceptions can see these tree marks.
I am
Okay,
I
I
am
have the
as-
lowest.
just fucking scraping them off the trees as I go.
All right.
Like trying to obscure them, trying to make them not obvious.
And Ren, how long do they walk?
I'd make them walk for like an hour, maybe.
Okay.
We've been on the road all day. You know what? This is your friend. Whatever.
How is Keon feeling in this forest?
There is something very calming about this forest. It's very quiet. It's very still. But the longer you're here, the sadder it feels. And you can almost feel a weight settle in your chest gradually. So gradually you're not even really aware of it until all of a sudden you feel as though you've been holding a sob in your chest without releasing it for the
Is that
past
all
10
of us
minutes.
feeling it?
All of you are starting to feel this. This is
Oh, Connie
a
doesn't think
sad place.
Connie doesn't think it has anything to do with the forest.
Altion will sort of run their hands through the dirt as they walk.
How well am I obscuring these tree marks? I'm trying to make them like big.
What was the nature of the tree marks, Ren?
They would just be like a vertical slash, or like a diagonal slash, on the right side, so that you would follow, keeping pace in between the trees. You would stay to the left of each tree that has a slash.
How deep is a slash?
Not very. Just enough to be noticed even at night.
You dumb motherfucker.
You
Anyway.
can't, unless you're looking for tree marks specifically, you probably wouldn't notice. Hence the
Okay.
message.
Alright, then Connie will not do anything. She's just eyes peeled, fucking following these tree marks.
All right. And Ren, what happens?
The party arrives into a small moonlit grove. It's a pretty nice area, just a circle. And there's an individual sitting on a rock at the back. That would be me.
All
I'd
right.
like to cast Detect Thoughts.
Go ahead and do so.
And I would like to immediately probe deeper as well.
Okay. Then you're gonna go ahead and be making a saving throw there, Ren.
Yeah.
Is it an intelligence?
Probably doesn't matter.
Oh.
You're also, it is going to be a motherfucking, blah, 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 blah. I'm so sorry, I can't read. Wisdom save.
Wisdom save? I'm assuming 8 doesn't pass. I rolled
No.
very bad.
Okay. So, Ren, what is on your mind at this moment as you feel a presence, a light pressure?
How specific is Detect Thoughts?
It's if I probe deeper, I gain insight into its reasoning, its emotional states, and something that looms large in its mind.
Emotional state compromised.
Plus,
Reasoning. Ren is thinking that there is a chance for this to end well if they try hard enough. And something looming large in the mind is an overwhelming sense of guilt.
gotcha. Cool.
So the four of you enter this small moonlit clearing and see the shape of a humanoid back turned to you. There's a hat pulled low over the head. There's a bow slung across the back.
I'd like to put a hand in my pocket. Ren?
And Ren will turn around.
Just kind of by instinct, I think Keon just takes out his knife, just holding it.
Okay.
They have a light source?
Torches.
Yeah.
I'd ask kindly if you all would snuff that out just in case. There's enough moonlight tonight for most of us to be able to see.
Well, most isn't all, so no. Now, who are you?
That's a hard question, ain't it? The better question
Shouldn't
is,
be.
who are you and why are you in my forest?
Your forest.
Your?
And Jordan with an arbiter, no less. I'd have thought better of you, Connie.
Well, Ren, you know as well as I do, sometimes we don't get to pick who we are friends with at times. Or who we have to share a bed with when our backs are pressed against the wall.
And Maltian will at that go, ah. All right.
Interesting.
What's interesting is our wheel on our cart was broken.
I figured it would be easier for you to not be followed if you're on foot rather than just leaving two large grooves in the dirt.
And you think so poorly of me that I couldn't follow your tracks if you...
We haven't seen each other since we were children. I don't know how good you are at following forest tracks.
I would have thought you'd think more highly of me, but I see that's not the case.
Well, I wanted to know if the city dulled your senses.
Who said I went to a city?
Looks up and down at the nicely neat dress and everything.
A priestess must wear her garb anywhere she goes. Doesn't
Let's
mean
just
I
call
couldn't.
it a hunch.
And you, Ren? Where have you been lately? Just eyeballing him.
Rather dirty clothes, very dusty as well, but looks like recently mended, where there were scrapes and tears. Carrying a large degree of supplies. But let's get down to business. Y'all are here. I'm assuming. I heard a little bit of I assume you're some kind of mercenaries here to take revenge on us sacking that encampment, fighting the soldiers.
That depends on who us is. We were contracted for bandits, and unless you fell in with the crowd of murderers that you lived with, I'd say you're not likely to be a bandit.
Listen, the only murderers are the ones who's paying you to kill innocent folks right now.
Really?
We weren't paid to kill.
Hell, actually.
We're going to take you guys in alive.
Right. To face the Empire's mercy.
If I do
They're so
recall,
renowned for it.
if I do recall, it's not just the Empire who didn't have mercy for those who stepped out of line. Or did you forget that in 13 years?
13.
So how'd you make that bird talk?
What? But what? I didn't do that. The bird talked on its own.
How? What? Are you hungry right now?
Listen, you just ask real nicely. You can be surprised what you can get.
Oh, really? Connie's just gonna walk right up then and run a finger and says, "And if I ask really nicely, but might I get that?"
Maybe the answer to some questions you've been having. But I need to know that what I'm here to do won't be compromised by all of you.
What are you here to do?
Protect folks.
By what means?
Subterfuge, skullduggery, whatever your term for it is.
And
I
And
ain't
if
stupid enough to think I could take an arbiter in my own, but I can certainly sneak by one, I think.
And who might these folks be?
Oh, friends of a certain Sister Yule.
Insight check. Insight check.
Go ahead.
Motherfucker.
I have, Darby, I have never seen, like, because you're a phenomenal role player, right? I have never seen Darby, like, claw her way to the surface as strongly as just then. Like,
Go ahead and roll an insight check.
All right. Okay. 26, motherfucker.
All right. Well, I rolled a 7,
All right.
but Ren's telling the truth.
So, what was the exact wording of what you just said again for my notes?
Friends of a certain Sister Yule.
And Darby, I want you to go ahead and roll a d20 for me.
Can I cast Detect Thoughts on, what's your name?
By the way, if you're still
On
probing
Connie?
into Ren's mind, Ren is a little bit gloating.
yeah, I'd like to
I-
shift the tech thoughts over to Connie.
Do I add anything to it or
No, I just want to know what you rolled on a d20.
17?
17. You have heard of Sister Yule. She is the head priestess of the Ankala region for the Church of Saloon. She's based in the capital of Kin.
I'm still gonna slap Ren across the face.
Could you make a saving throw right after that?
Oh yeah.
At
Sorry.
disadvantage, it's a heightened spell.
Okay. Disadvantage. That's an 18 at disadvantage. The other one was a 19 roll.
You feel a pressure on the back of your neck, and you swat it away.
I feel that you'll get rage. Just
Oh, it's just like a
You
fire.
get the emotion when you first tap in, and it is white hot rage in
just
Connie right
smack. Just smack across the face. Now I know that you weren't talking about. I know who you were talking about, but you better watch your cheeky little tongue, or I'm gonna cut it out of your goddamn mouth for you.
And here I'd think that Fragment 129A would apply.
1 second. 129.
God, is this how like non-religious people feel when we quote scripture to
Yes.
each other?
Yes.
Jeez, wow.
now. But me you have forgotten.
Where you loved a man more than me.
I don't know.
Look,
I don't
the
have a
perfect.
I don't have a
perfect-
physical copy of the book, Harper, so I don't know how far I could have gotten into reading it in 2 days. but-
Make for me a general intelligence check to see if you could have remembered that line, that fragment.
Sure.
And Ren, as of right now, might I remind you of Sappho 55?
I rolled an 18. I get all the
So you know 129B. It would have stuck in your mind. It is, or you love some man more than me.
I said A specifically, though.
Oh, so it's, but me you have forgotten.
And Sappho 55 Dead you will lie, and never a memory of you. Will there be nor desire into the aftertime, for you do not share in the roses.
Yep.
There's more, but it's like
Nope, that's
Purity
it. That's
and
what the
Hades.
fragment
There's.
is.
you've been breathed out.
Let's be more explicit, and I invite the rest of the group to come and sit near me.
Yeah, why, real quick, why on earth would you admit, without any provocation on our part really, to attacking the login side? That's just not.
Because if you
Are
walk
you
back
new
to
at
that
this?
encampment right now to turn me in, I'm gonna be gone faster than you could expect.
You are making a lot of assumptions.
Also, Jade, we're traveling
Yeah?
with. Clearly traveling with a dear companion. He trusts us because we're with her.
I wouldn't trust him as far as I can throw him.
Well, to be fair,
Oh dear
Well, I'm
you're
not
not
goodness,
exactly like
kids.
trusted
Okay.
sort.
To be fair, you ain't the one that would back in our towns alone for the rest of their youth.
You know what? I'm just gonna grab him by the, just like push him by the shoulder and just fucking push him away from the group. You want to do this, then we're gonna do this.
Let's
All
do
right.
this.
I
Settle.
need 5.
Wow, quick, aren't you?
And it's gonna.
Are you dragging
Yup,
Ren off to
drag
the
him.
edge of the forest?
Just drag him just somewhere.
I will
Kian
allow
and-
Ren to be dragged.
Kian and Jade, you just hear just the most giddy laugh out of Voltion. She is so upset.
Clearly.
That delightful.
All right, Connie and Ren, you find yourselves at the edge of the forest, a good 35 yards away from the group.
Ren.
I'm here doing important work. I need to know that I can trust you not to go ratting out all these people to the Arbiter.
And how am I supposed to trust you, Ren? And the people you're running with?
I haven't running with. You didn't get to see what happened afterwards.
And
I
what
was
happened
treated as an
after?
enemy by my own kinfolk. People I'd lived and grew up with.
Insight check. Upsetty. That's a 12.
Rolled better. Ren has dropped the demeanor from before, but is still speaking rather seriously.
I had to leave.
If it brings any closure. I saw the remains. I'm sorry.
No. No, you didn't. No. There's no way.
There's a reason as soon as I could, I got out of that town. I barely go back to visit my auntie anymore at all. I write every now and again, but hard to. What with my line of work.
And what is your line of work exactly? Stealing and burning logging camps?
Logging camps. I wasn't involved in that, but I want you to know the reason why there's no dead soldiers is because of me.
And why should I trust that?
You should trust that because, well, you should trust that because the whole reason I'm doing what I'm doing is to try and find you.
Why in the name of Salute would you ever want to try and find me? And why would you think that I would want to find you?
Well, I assumed you didn't, otherwise you would have found some way to contact me.
I wasn't allowed to contact you.
You would have found a way if you really wanted to. No one could tell you what to do.
I was barely allowed to contact my own family. Why do you think I would be allowed to contact you?
That's all in the past. Right now, what I'm worried about are the people who need help here.
And who are those people, exactly?
Can't tell you unless you promise me. You and your group ain't gonna do anything.
I don't know about the group. But you know as well as I do, we have our own reasons for not trusting an arbiter.
Well, I certainly know yours.
And I know yours.
Fortunate, by the way, what time it is. Pointing straight up.
Indeed.
It's a lovely night. Reminds me of something. But let's just say this. It was quite a shock to see two sides of the church on this argument.
Excuse me?
Well, I would assume your organization would talk with one another about certain things.
Yes, well, I'm not exactly in the hierarchy of the church, am I?
True, but I ain't here for no reason.
You said a sister?
Hi, Sister Yule.
Okay. Then let's go back and speak with our rest of my compatriots and see if we can work something out.
And what the three of you have seen are Connie and Ren being very standoffish, about 5 feet apart, looking at each other, occasionally gesturing, but otherwise very quiet. And then they begin to make their way back.
Get into earshot. It is, I will say to Connie, even if it's under these circumstances, it was very nice to be able to see you again. Reminds me of simpler times.
Well, those simple times are gone. And Connie's just gonna walk back.
Okay.
Allow me to introduce myself. And now that Ren is more in the light, I will take this opportunity to describe them. They are standing a little bit shorter than most, but at about 5'6", lean, muscular build. They wear a lot of leather and like trail clothing made for wandering. They have a slightly lighter than bronze skin, and they have shortish hair that covers like most of the head, especially with the hat. You can barely basically see the face, which is with stubble and a few small scars. But when they look up, you do see some pale, verdant eyes. And that's what Ren looks like. Now, allow me to introduce myself. I am Ren. And like I said, these are my woods, for now at least. They're under my charge. And I need to know if y'all are going to be working with that arbiter. No one likes working with those folks, so I'm hoping I can talk you out of it.
Glance around at Jade in particular.
It depends. How much would your head be worth to them?
Mine? A fair bit. But, it's not my head I'm worried about.
Yes, where are these, people, I suppose?
I'd be willing to take y'all to them if I can be sure that y'all aren't gonna pull nothing.
A secondary question. Who are these people? Surely not members of the town.
There ain't no town here.
What does that mean?
These woods have been settled a long time ago, not by the Empire. They haven't bothered with it because there ain't no town here. That encampment, them trying to start something they shouldn't be starting. Those logging camps, getting a bit too choppy with some pine trees on the line.
It is the trees, isn't it?
I told you they felt different. By the way, Jade has been juggling since you all went and had your fight to entertain herself. She has not stopped that.
So
Interesting.
then,
That you both can pick that up.
What did you say your name was?
Ren Ashville Dermanger.
And
Doing
could
it.
I
Doing
get Maltion?
Yo,
I want you to roll me an intelligence check.
sick. Haha! What's my modifier? +2. That is an 18.
Anyone else? No, just you. Okay. I'm if it's all right with Ren, I'm just gonna share a bit of information with
Go for
the
it.
group out loud. You have a very passing familiarity with the Elvish language, and this last name pings Elvish to you. Not wholly, but partially.
Does this person look, now that with that bit of information, I sort of look to ears, facial structure?
You don't see him. Covered by the hair and the hat.
Ren. And I'll walk forward. My name is Maltion. It is, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. You, remind me of some folks I know. Can't quite put a finger on it.
Yes, I'm got one of those faces.
No, that ain't it.
Well, I think it might be. I, at the very least, will bring no harm to any people. That's not exactly what we were contracted for. Unless, of course, they prove in need of being harmed. Then that's a different conversation.
Well, you all wouldn't have great luck with that, even if you can get the jump on me, which 4 you certainly could. Even with that Arbiter and all those soldier boys, not all of you would manage to get out unscathed, one might say.
Sure.
Connie's looking at Jade.
Still juggling.
You said the last name was not Elvish. Would it be? I don't know. Well, not quite Elvish. Would it be Sylvan?
So, if you caught anything off about the last name, it would have been like, oh, I recognize some of that. That sounds like a regular old human last name.
Mm. Cool.
I'm not exactly chuffed about an Arbiter being here, but I'm not too worried about breaking contracts.
Good. If that's settled then, I can take y'all to,
I'm looking at Jade. Specifically Jade.
Still juggling.
And
Hadn't said
Jade?
anything.
What about you?
Hmm?
Regarding Ren's question about the
you got the
Arbiter.
mercenary look about you.
That would be because I'm a mercenary.
Talking
I'll
about
make
the
this-
gleam in your eye. I've seen it well.
My eyes do sparkle. Thank you for noticing.
You certainly have to when you're wearing all that fancy bling.
Jade? Regarding Ren's question.
I have no intention of harming anybody. That being said, threatening my person is not a good way to guarantee that. So,
Don't worry. You won't be threatened.
In turning people into the Arbiter.
as long as no one speaks of illegal activity happen, I have no reason to do that. And also, I have no reason to do that as long as I am properly compensated.
Then let's sally forth. Ren.
Right, let's just go on and meet my friends. and I will guide them a winding and confusing path to a small secret grove.
As that is happening, can I, you use a little feature called Know Your Enemy
Mm-hmm.
on Ren?
Certainly you can.
Yeah, let's go with armor class and dexterity score. Are they equal or superior?
Yeah, I read that incorrectly. So, you want which two?
Dexterity and armor class.
Could you send me your dexterity and armor class, please, Ren?
Yep.
And you too, Keon. Alright, and Ren is guiding you on a very confusing path through the forest. I would like everyone to roll a survival check to see if they can keep track of the path that Ren is taking you along. And for those of you without dark vision, this is going to be at disadvantage.
19.
So, Keon, as you observe Ren on this walk, you get the sense that your armor is a little better, but they are certainly more nimble than you are.
Interesting.
So we got a 19 survival from Connie. What have we got from Maltion? Okay, Jade, a 4. Keon, a survival check.
I rolled
A 1?
God fucking damn 1 again.
Okay.
I then proceeded to roll 3 dice after that, just to be like, is it just me, or is all my dice just being... All of them are under 5. So all of these dice...
Oh no.
Just
Going in the box.
going in the jail.
No.
God, I am
All right.
not having good... I had 1 good roll, which made me sick.
So,
and I'm just not having a good time.
as Ren is leading you through the forest, Maltion, Jade, and Keon, this is a very odd and winding path, and it takes you through brief shafts of moonlight and then into deep darkness and around these trees that are growing ever larger the deeper you get into the forest. And you quickly lose sense of which direction is which anymore.
I'm distracted by the feeling of the forest.
That too, and you're also
Right.
observing Ren very closely, trying to understand them. Connie, this all is very familiar to you. Running the woods with Ren. You are used to this. You are not getting lost. You know exactly where you are.
Just like old times, I guess.
And Ren leads you through this path, and you come across a small grove. And in this grove, you can see the signs of life. People living here. You can see homes that have almost been built out of the trees here. You can see that there is a clearing that appears to be a common space in the middle. You can see that there are a couple of people keeping watch, and they see Ren come and they start to hail them, and then they look concerned and reach back for bows, seeing people following you.
Do a whistle signal that it's okay.
Right, and they'll relax. And one of them will call out to you. It was good hunting then, Ren.
Could have been better. Got some complications, but these fine folks shouldn't cause us any harm.
Well, all right then, bring them on in, and we'll meet them.
All
I'm
right.
keeping that dagger close. If they friggin' point a bow at me again, I'm chucking it.
I've got my hands in my pockets.
Okay.
You don't want to see my hand where my hip be at.
All right.
They're gonna be like, whoa, that's a butt knife in the head.
But hands in my pockets.
I will glide over to Connie in a bit and whisper, if we could have another moment alone at some point, there is another thing I want to mention.
Connie's just gonna do that thing with your arm where you make a hoop.
I'll put my arm through the hoop.
All right, and you are escorting your 4 new companions, including Connie, who you are guiding by the arm, to meet these 2 people who are on guard. And you, Ren, would know that you would recognize Sylvia and Reg, and they are the 2 that are on guard tonight.
Sylv, Reg, nice to see you two. They keep assigning the 2 of you together for some reason. You 2 must make a good pair.
It's the darndest thing. Now, who have you brought back?
I didn't actually get all your names. Montion. This is the lovely Connie. Miss Connie? I hope it's still Miss.
For now.
And I didn't get these 2's names.
And the woman will, after a moment, just be like, well, alright then. We'll just come up with a name for you if we need to, shall we? Listen, if Ren says you're good, you're good. Who are you? How'd you come to the forest? Are you here to help?
We're here to see you.
And, I do hope help eventually.
Perhaps. Depends how much
Don't
more
worry about
consistent
it.
we've become since childhood.
Yeah. Miracle what you can do when you need to get by certain places unaccosted. And don't worry, this ain't one of those fairy tale places where if you say your true name, you're just gonna be stuck here forever. That's a myth.
Oh, is it?
No, it is. Maybe a long, long time ago when the world was a bit more magical, but not anymore.
We'll run.
Hey,
Show us where we
DM.
Yes.
What race are these guards?
They both appear to be humanoid. But you can see as the woman is standing up to greet you all. She was crouched on the ground before. She turns to meet you all and goes, "Ah, good to see you all." You see the telltale pointed ears of an elf. That's
Yes,
about what she
I,
says. If Ren says you're good, you're good. Hello.
Ah!
Yes,
This is who you've been running with lately, huh?
I do believe we are here to help.
And Jade and Keon.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe also... No, not Connie, actually. But Jade and Keon, this is your first time, to my knowledge, meeting an elf in person.
I guess, yeah, technically, yeah.
Seeing the relaxing of certain
No,
things.
Connie's just gonna press the hat down.
Okay, never mind.
Trust me, you look better with it on.
Alright, if you say so.
Listen, if you're here to help, we'll gladly take it. We need help with them. Frickin' soldiers, man. They're...
The soldiers ain't the problem. There's only 5 of
Jade
them
actually
left.
looks confused.
They hired a tin bucket to come in and mess things up.
Mm.
One of them. Yeah, arbiter.
God damn it all.
If you could send word for people to pack just in case.
It'll be hard with the new arrivals. They just got here, but I mean,
They've been used to being on the road.
Oh no.
Maltion, what's up?
God, it's so conflicted.
I mean,
Connie has no confliction.
the twins will. They still don't really. They still don't trust us. They'd much rather be with you, but.
If necessary, I can take the two of them somewhere else. Been meaning to visit a certain other place.
Alright, well, we can certainly get everybody packed up and ready to go, but you know that some of us are gonna have to stay to defend this place.
I know. May the Tree Mother protect all of you.
The four of you, if you're willing to. I wouldn't ask you to stay and help defend, but if you can help escort, maybe? We have a lot of people here who are just trying to live life the way that the Tree Mother intended.
I
And
understand that.
the Empire doesn't take kindly to us doing it on our ancestral lands.
No, it does not.
The Empire doesn't take kindly to, you in general.
No, not so much. Well,
I gotta ask. What's your currency here, if you do that? Do you have, like, petrified wood? Do you have gems? Anything?
Well, we typically just provide for everyone, and if no one ever needs of anything, but we do have contact with the outside world. We occasionally do keep things like money.
Okay. Then we shouldn't have a problem.
Ren, is there someone you need to
I'm a simple gal.
meet? Or needed us to meet?
No, but there are a pair of people I think it would be interesting for you all to meet and to more understand why I am so cautious with the bloodhound sniffing around.
I think I'm pretty aware of why you might be cautious. Just gesturing at Sylvia.
That too, but more specifically, a lot of folks, decent folks like these, decided to stop staying in the shadows so much, start helping others where it really is needed.
Let's meet these two people we should meet.
And I will take the party to the twins.
They should still be awake. Hadn't bother getting them to sleep out here. They say it's too quiet.
I'm actually going to tell them, pardon my rudeness. I'm just caught off guard by everything, but my name is Keon. I would like to help out. Let me help out with this is my first time encountering elves as yourself.
I mean, we spoke about it a couple hours ago, but sure. Although I
Well,
suppose I only half count.
How can I help with the elderly and children?
We'd welcome the help, yeah. I mean, honestly, Ren will probably be taking charge of leading them out of here. It's more his game than ours to be traveling. Those of us who are fighters will stay here and protect what's ours.
We ain't gonna up and just give up yet.
Ren, if they brought in an arbiter, you know that there's not much that can be done for everybody here. Don't risk 70 lives for your pride.
I want to use a bonus action and psychically talk to Ren. So, fuck, I gotta make this quicker. Get your shit together, dude. I would like to help, and in a more concrete way than just leaving. I mean, this forest is breathing. We can't just let it be cut down, but I cannot be seen doing such dramatic things to rebuke the Empire, and that means that there are 6 people in that log cabin who need to die if we do it this way.
Well, you and I are of the same mind about that.
I think we're of the same mind about a couple of things, Ren.
Sylvia will say, well, the twins are still up if you want to go see them. They can't sleep. I'm sure they'll be happy to see you, Ren.
And, by the way, Madam Connie is actually a member of the Church of Saloon. She is a sister.
Well, we are blessed by your presence, Sister Connie. Thank you for joining us.
Of course. Couldn't leave an old acquaintance such as Ren alone in the world.
Acquaintance,
Yes, I'm the same Altion.
Nothing, I am just...
When Multion says acquaintance, Jade physically does this.
Oh, so you've stopped juggling now.
Yes.
The juggle just goes.
No, she stopped juggling when we got to the guards because she might need her hands or feet for a weapon. No, she stopped juggling then. She was juggling on the path there.
So,
She couldn't tell where she was going.
Ren will say, and Ren you can see is, he's got, dark brown skin and, hair that he keeps back in locks, and he says, anyone who serves the Moon Maiden is a friend of ours.
Certainly.
You're welcome here.
Let's go see these twins.
Okay.
Right.
And Ren, you escort them over to the... There are large trees in this clearing, and you can see that this one has been... There's a curtain hanging over an opening. And as Ren pulls the curtain open, you can see sitting up, cross-legged across from each other on a bed, playing some kind of game with their hands, 2 identical-looking, small, pixie-ish girls with spiky black hair. And as they turn to look at you, see both of them have the same bright purple eyes. And these are 2 twin gnomes.
Friends, these are the Gecklemeckles. Zani and Zatra.
Hi, says one of them.
And I will put a arm on Connie's shoulder. This is Connie, another friend of mine from the... Did you brush the arm off?
Mm-hmm.
Another friend from the Church of the Moon Maiden.
The other one will say, hi Connie, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
We were with the church for a long time. Were you with the same ladies, or were you from somewhere different?
That depends. Which sisters did you meet?
We met a lot of different sisters, but, oh gosh, there was, Sister Katie, and there was Sister Mildred, and there was Sister Anya, and there was Sister Yule. Sister Yule is really nice, but she's really strict. There was, Sister Maddie, and there was,
So when you say children in the description of these twins, how young are we talking?
They look to be... You haven't seen too many gnomes in your life. They're not that common in these parts. but you would estimate they're probably no more than 9 or 10 years old.
Ren will go down onto the knees to be like face with them. Now you two, you're staying up awfully late.
Ren,
You two
it's
need to
so
be-
quiet out here. It's so hard to sleep. And then when
I'm
anybody talks or walks, you can hear it.
I'm sorry, but it's just you're gonna get used to it. I did, certainly. But take a moment, take a breath. Just listen for a moment.
They'll both close their eyes.
That's the sound of the forest. Birds, squirrels, little creepy crawlies, little bugs, all moving around. You may think this place ain't alive as the city is, but it's much more alive. Everything here works together. And to work together, you need to be well rested, and I will pick the two of them up and then put them in the bed.
Good with kids.
And they'll say, "Oh, okay, fine."
And don't worry, me and my friends are gonna make sure the two of you are safe. Ain't that right?
That's right. Did any of the other sister names sound familiar to me besides Sister Lay?
None of them.
Okay. Sister Lay and I are old acquaintances.
You've met her too? Isn't she just really strict? It's funny because it looks like she doesn't have a mouth sometimes because she just presses her lips together so hard.
It's just a straight line. Yeah, that's the Sister Lay I remember. God,
She has
the
a-
last time I saw her, I was not much older than you two, but I'm sure she's just the same as ever.
Ren, you catch that. What, and that was, oh gosh, which twin was it? I have them separate in my head. That was, Zani who said that.
That's not. You know what? That's fine.
And Zani will laugh.
Anyways, can I druidcraft 2 flowers for them?
Certainly.
Quick. I'm trying to find one with the meaning of sleep. Nope, that one is eternal sleep. I don't want that. That is just...
Pretty funny.
Go to sleep.
Traveler's Joy. Little bundles of them passing to you. These are... You might see these out in the woods as you know, looking around. These are called Traveler's Joy. They mean, rest. Good respite. Might help you sleep a little. And just kind of tuck them behind their ears. One on the left and the other on the right. On opposite ears.
They both look very excited when you produce flowers out of nothing. And they kind of look at Ren. They say, "Can we?"
You know what? You might learn that one day.
And they'll both look at each other. And kind of in sync, they will snap their fingers and make the illusions of an illusion of the flower that you just gave them appear in their hands. And it only lasts for a few seconds. You can see they're squinting, and then it fades.
That's mighty impressive. If you work on that every day with dedication, I'm sure you're going to be able to make flowers just like these.
That'd be nice. These ones feel solid. Ours never do.
Right, we should let the twins get some sleep.
I'll boop their noses.
And they'll turn in with each other so that they're facing each other as they fall asleep.
You gonna make it? You gonna be alright?
I will telepathically tap Jade on the shoulder and say, so what do we think, Miss Winnow?
Can I
Yeah.
can I respond to it? Okay, I can.
All right. Just like, well, I really have no desire to take these people out of their place, obviously, but I'm not kidding when I say I do have to be compensated. Missing a job from the guild is not my preference, so I'm gonna need the capital to make that up. But of course, we're gonna have to deal with that arbiter. If that's the case.
Was that Maltion?
Was that Maltion psychic scream?
No. Yes, that is the road bump.
If
So
we
are we gonna leave
cannot
this
deal
room?
with that,
Yeah, so all of you make your way out and close the curtain behind you, and you're now standing in this clearing.
Ren, where is this Boule?
Up in Kin. Or down in Kin, I suppose. It's south of here.
Well, if we are going to help these folk, we have one major problem. We have to report back before they come looking for us.
you're correct. That is a problem.
I mean, they're not going to be able to follow us here. I don't even remember where we started, but
Neither do I.
I do.
but the thing is that they do have an arbiter. I don't know their other abilities. I just know they're not going to be as fast as me or our new companion over here. They're not as fast as us, but they are a little bit harder to hit.
Sounds about right.
The rank and file of the encampment ain't too worrisome. It's just, thankfully, there was only the one I noticed.
Because the other one's
Yeah.
east.
The other one's not going to be a problem, but is going to be a problem later on when they find out that we're going to have to deal with later.
Actually,
Go ahead.
well, I was gonna say, well, I mean, yes, we're here now, so there's really no point in subterfuge in that regard. But so, I just want to be clear: with the login site, did you just run them off there, or did you actually take any of their equipment or supplies or something?
Now, I wasn't involved in all that. I had just gotten back when that happened. But
Okay.
as
I'm just
for
wondering
what-
if you even technically, if y'all technically qualify as bandits, because if you don't, there are no bandits, and ergo the job is void.
that would be
It doesn't
correct.
stop that we have to report back, but
Nothing was expropriated or taken from the people there. The only thing that happened is we gummed up a few of their machines, made sure no more
have-
trees could be harmed.
I have to make something sparklingly clear here. If we plan to get on the bad side of an arbiter, everyone in that encampment has to die. And I will look at Connie and say, I understand that some of us have a predilection for mercy, and the guards are likely not as big of a threat as the arbiter. That does not mean we can allow them to return to the Empire.
no, they'll all have to die. There is no option besides that.
Well,
Ren will lock eyes with Connie. Sometimes we don't have a choice of what side of the fight we're on.
and sometimes doing the right thing doesn't mean always obeying the law.
Right. Like warning your friend moments before to try and persuade her to run as fast as possible away.
I just lean over to Maltion and I was like, you can really cut the tension with a knife, can't you?
It is, yes. 13 years, I figure I let them be obvious about it for a little while. I get this feeling that this was always the thing, though, and that this is just kind of an extrapolation of
Probably
dynamic that already existed?
It's my figure right there.
The another thing, if we're going to do this and kill them all, what is stopping the Empire from being like, oh, one arbiter was not enough, and send more?
Oh, nothing. That's why they'll have your groove will have to clear out, but it'll buy you time.
How much do they know about you? About this place?
Too much.
I would like to.
Actually, it does make sense why the arbiters are here now, since if they know too much about this place.
They don't know the nature of this place, hence why it's called a bandit encampment and why there ain't whole swarm of troops moving in.
But they know more than they know this is not bandits.
We have some folks here
certainly
who are.
they know that.
There are folks here who are excellent at making false leads, maybe implying that through other means that the folks here have cleared out. We can make fake encampments, showing that, oh, the bandits were here and left once all the places of interest were gone.
All right.
Long shot.
Another thing, I do think you're approaching a very good point here. If the Arbiter dies, that's obviously further investigation. Like, they're not going to just let that pass. The people are of a concern, obviously. I would like to save the forest, if that's possible.
You and me both, friend. That's the whole reason why the attack on the logging camp happens. It got a bit too close to ancestor trees.
I'm gonna be honest with both of you. If they're already aware of that, and an arbiter and a number of soldiers go missing, this place will burn. And there's nothing you can do about that without sacrificing some lives, and eventually it burn it all anyway.
So is there a way?
There are no good options sometimes.
Then is there a way we can get the Arbiter away from this area, or just let them think that you've all moved on without having to kill them?
I was thinking of one thing.
Not that big.
Them arbiters, when they smell a bark, they don't stop. Now, I wouldn't ask any of you, so I'm willing to do this myself.
Leading them off?
I could go on the run. Been on the lam more than a few times.
But the issue lies with this, is that by your own admission, they're not sure that there's... They are under the assumption that you have left already, because you've left fake encampments, correct?
I was saying that to be an option.
I see. Because if they're already cutting down trees, the Arbiter's not just here... Well, the Arbiter's just here for you, but the destruction of the forest is just on a work order.
Let's be clear. I've done this a few times. Not this exact scenario, but we destroy the remaining logging camp. It'll be quite a while before any boss is gonna send a bunch of workers here in the middle of hostile terrain with no real chance of profit. It's not the first camp I've smashed, or needed to. Like I said, I never take it out on the workers. But we can drive them away if need be, again.
Go ahead.
That's the issue here, is that the fact that you can drive them away all you want. I'm just trying to not get into the southern twang.
It's real hard, isn't it?
It's very hard.
You
right
can
now.
get into all this stuff. You can drive them away. But the thing is that the fact of the matter is that the Arbiter is here.
Let's be clear, there ain't much real logging going on, and those that is at small edges of the forest.
And what are
The
they?
ancestor trees are only in danger should the community be found out.
I see. Oh, well, then this is much more simple than I thought. 6 graves. Anyone got a shovel?
Oh, hey, I have to get. I need to be paid. I still have to actually be compensated for that. I was not kidding. So, how will you do that?
Well, we didn't take any, but certainly there are some supplies at the encampment that you could appropriate for your own ends.
What's your price for 6 heads, Miss Fennell? Especially considering the hazard fee.
For 6 heads. So hold on. For
Be
6
5
heads,
in an arbiter.
with the arbiter's gonna be expensive. I'll admit that much. Plus hazard. Arbiter's an extra. Let's say that on top of that. Hello? No, we can actually discount that a little bit. As a note, Jade is actually doing math in her head. Like, I have a calculator physically out. She's figuring this out.
She just takes out an abacus and just like,
Just conjure spreadsheet. First level wizard spell.
That's my favorite.
Yeah. Oh, guild cancellation fee. Let's just call it an even 7.
7 gold?
No.
And
Bless your heart.
Maltion will look at you for a second and say, 650 and I pay for the next dinner?
So, you got yourself a deal.
Maltion will give her 650 gold.
What?
Pleasure doing
Hold
Yes.
on. We could, the community, you're doing something for these people. We can at least cover some of that. Not much. We don't have much.
No.
I don't care who pays me, long as I get paid, so you can figure that out amongst yourselves.
I don't take from what people have a limited amount of. I'm not a particular fan of money in general, to be honest, so I have no problem giving it away. Besides, I'll just make her pay for the drinks. It's fine.
I mean, we're not getting paid for this job anyway since there's no bandits. So,
Well, pay can come in multiple forms, and in this form, it'll come from whatever we can take from that encampment.
I don't want to be forward, but do we see an ancestor tree? Is there one nearby?
And I will take them to the small copse of trees that houses the spirits of long departed.
Keon's head just explodes.
Keon's nose starts bleeding.
Can I sense the discomfort on Keon?
Roll an insight on Keon.
Alright.
Keon, are you trying to hide it?
That's an 18.
I mean, I think this would probably be the first time that it'd be this intense. I mean, not the first time, but like.
I can describe to you what you're feeling right now.
Yes. What am I feeling? How is my poor boy? My poor normal.
So
normal
actually, as you moved closer to the clearing, and for every moment you've been here, all of you have felt the tension that was in your chest, that feeling of a held back sob, loosen. As the air felt more welcoming. And as you walk into this copse of trees that are very clearly well tended and watched over, there is still a sadness here, but it is the feeling of a sigh, of having to let go and of life well lived. And while it is still sad, it is no longer oppressively so. It almost makes you feel at peace.
Montian would like to glide their hand along the trees and just cast Detect Thoughts on no one in the group. Just do the radar ping of it.
Alright. And as you cast Detect Thoughts, you can feel the surface emotions of everyone in the group. But as you cast out, you can... It's odd, they're not even quite thoughts. But you sense from the trees around you the faintest of emotions. It's very faint. It's so, like, if you were not looking for it specifically, you would not find it. But you can sense that these trees have feelings. And the longer you spend walking through with Detect Thoughts going, you can start to tell differences between them. You can start to tell that they are unique and individual.
I would say that the rest of the party certainly watches Maltion just sort of like, as soon as they're in the space, eyes closed, just going from tree to tree, brushing a hand along the bark. Yes. We must preserve this. This is good. This needs to stay.
Is there... I'm assuming there's no one else here. Just kind of like sitting by the trees or anything.
No, you all are fairly on your own.
Well, I'm pretty settled and healthy in any way I can.
And after you've been here for about 10 minutes, sitting in silence, you can hear very quiet footsteps approaching from the clearing.
And in my pocket.
And you'll see Reg peek his head around one of the trees at you all. Say, we've cleared out some bunks if you all would like a place to camp for the night. It's not much, but we hope you'll find it comfortable.
I will offer the temporary quarters that I've actually had. I will take a bunk. Should be spacious enough for maybe 2 of you.
Is it all right if I sleep here? If not, that's fine.
No,
I'm gonna look
certainly we don't mind, but...
at Maltion. I don't know why I seem to trust you. And I will make an arcane glyph with my hand and cast protection from evil and good on them. You rest well.
You want to take a walk?
I think that would be good.
I'm going to... is there... Keon's gonna ask... Is there any one of the elders that are still awake?
We could probably get you to talk to one of them, but might wait till morning, I'm not gonna lie. They sleep harder than the trees do here.
Sleep's an interesting word for it, but yeah.
It's fair enough.
I'm sure
I
it's
would like
mighty
to talk to one.
entrancing.
Would like to talk to one of them. once they've awoken. But I will rest myself for now.
Had to take a crack, just couldn't help yourself.
I'm gonna go to the bunk now.
Well, I have half a mind to continue with this line of jokes.
You know what? I turn around and I killed all of them.
Stab.
Wow. Maybe
All
Connie
right.
should light as a comedian.
So, Reg will take Keon and Jade, if she's willing, to a couple of bunks for you.
I'll do.
When Connie and Ren are alone. Thought about you a lot, you know.
Can't imagine why.
Every time it was, you know, that time, I would stay up no matter what.
Sorry, I couldn't say anything.
I'm sorry that I didn't look as hard as I could.
Well, you wouldn't have found me anyway.
But it did mean it. She is gone.
Figured as much. Kind of hope that she managed to get away, but childish fantasies.
I lost someone too, you know.
Not
Someone
your
that
aunt.
mattered. No. Piper's gonna outlive me, so you know. That woman just refuses to die. But someone else, someone important. It was my fault then too. And I thought there was only one person who knew what I was going through. It'd be you.
Really was my fault, wasn't it?
No. I kept asking you to come back.
Well, if I really didn't want to go, I wouldn't have come.
You still have it.
What?
You still have it. I noticed.
No.
Don't work anymore. Unfortunately, it's short. Need a. It doesn't work after a while. The water ain't fresh anymore. The herbs, the dandelion needs to be renewed.
Nope. It doesn't do what it did. But the plants are fresh.
And then Ren will grab Connie's wrist, open up the small burlap pouch, and then put some new spring water and cast into it.
Oh, thank God. Oh, God. Oh, I don't know what I thought you were going to do there. Thank you kindly. Is there some I need meat, or was this it?
Nothing, I just wanted to make sure that, I was wondering if there's anything you wanted to say to me, actually.
Like?
I don't know, something like I missed you would be nice.
good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
And with the moon high overhead and everyone finding their way to sleep in this new conclave you found yourselves in, that is where we are going to call it for tonight. Thank you so much to everyone for tuning in, and now we are going to let our wonderful, beautiful, lovely, talented players talk a little bit about about themselves and where you can find them.
Where
And
themselves?
as always, we will start on my right with the lovely Alicia.
Hey, I'm Alicia, or NG9 on Twitch, where I stream video games and curse and have snakes. And on Twitter, I'm NG98, where I curse and have snakes and do puns in that order. And you can normally, and you want to know if I'm on stream or streaming myself, just follow me on Twitter, and that's the best way to find me. I have other social media platforms, but those are the two main ones. And now we'll throw it down to AJ.
Hi, I'm AJ, also known as Husha Kid. You can find me on the 3 T's of social media, Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok as Husha_Kid. We had just wrapped up production for our anthology film series with elements of magical realism and Filipino culture called Witness to a Devouring Monster. We're still about a third funded, so you can help out by going into my bite size and my bio on my Twitter. Witness to a Devouring Monster is a POC and women-led team, and it would be great if you can help out. On the first Wednesday of every month, you can find me on Misty Mountain Legends on Twitch at 7:30 p.m. EST, playing the cool bro cleric Dolph Fitzgerald. He's very cool, very chill. He has a little boy son goblin named Gabo. It's just an adopted son. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong is gonna happen to him. He's gonna be protected forever. You can also find me on a various scheduling of Mondays and Wednesdays for Kids Table on Mondays, Dub Club on Wednesdays, and you can find those on my Twitch channel, and probably announce when that will be streamed on Twitter. So yeah, pass it over.
Pass it over to our wonderful guest, who we are excited that will be coming back for one more episode next week, and that is Milan.
Hello, I am Milan, as was just stated. You can find me on Twitter at MallardMan0523. I know I have to add numbers. You can find me on Twitch just as MallardMan, which is handy, no numbers. Those are pretty much the only 2 things I'm allowed to talk about right now. I'm also on Kids Table and Dub Club. Kids Table less regularly. But yeah, it was a pleasure to be here, and thank you so much for having me, everyone.
And we will toss it on over to Darby.
Hi, it's me. I'm Darby. I'm one half of this Twitch channel. Other times when it's not Hidden Magicks, and I'm one of 5 or 6. 6. You can find me on Twitter as @DarbyPack. That's my real human name, but really I'm just a posthumous against you. You can find me here on Tuesdays and Thursdays, doing streaming stuff, video games, chatting, all kinds of gubbins. Gubbins are things. Why did I say that? Anyways, you can also find me elsewhere. When the new season picks up, I'm on the Critical Misses channel in literally everything they produce.
Starting at the time of this airing, tomorrow is the first Monday that we start streaming on Critical Misses again.
Ooh, yeah, and that's starting with Kingsguard, a Roll20 sponsored game of D&D 5th edition, where I play Arabella Chestnut. Let's see, and then Wednesdays is Pale Cold Sun, which is a Vampires Vampires the Masquerade 5th edition game with Dean Alicia. And then some Crash on Fridays, which Harper is also in. I think that's it for games that I'm in that I can talk about. Oh yeah, also Chaotic Creations, a podcast where we take weird prompts and make weird TTRPG characters. You can find us anywhere you can listen to podcasts, and also on the Critical Misses channel. I think by the time this comes out, Fridays.
That's correct.
Yeah, Fridays at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Boom. Passing it on to D. Is it up?
Up.
Hi, my name is D. I am a voice actor, streamer, musician, professional GM with the Game Master, professional GM with the Emerald City Game Masters Guild, as well as Magpie and their curated play program. I also play Julian in Woodsy Studios' Crimson Spires, which you can download in stream and soon to be on Xbox, Nintendo Switch, PS5. And then outside of that, I am also the DM, as Darby mentioned, of Pale Cold Sun on Wednesdays on the Critical Misses channel. You can catch us going live at 8 p.m. EST. And on Mondays, you can catch me over on Lead the Tale, where I play Anati Rossford in the Great American Witch game. And then later that night on Mondays, as these lovely people have already mentioned, you'll be able to catch me playing Adezuko on Kingsguard. And yeah, outside of that, you can catch me on my channel where we have Kids Table, which is when I grab a bunch of people who are around my age, 23 to 25-ish. We all sit down, we play board games, we play video games, we play whatever. And then you can also catch me on Wednesdays for Dub Club, the most successful video gaming team this side of the planet. Don't check the VODs, just believe the words I said. And I think that is everything that I have decided to talk about. So
And I have been Harper, your dungeon master for the evening. If you want to hear more from me, I am one half of this Twitch channel. I stream here on Thursdays, on Saturdays, and on Sundays for this Hidden Magicks. You can also find me on Critical Misses on Mondays for Kingsguard and on Fridays for System Crash. And if you want to follow me personally and hear my thoughts, you can do so on Twitter at Harpersona Games, because Harpersona was banned. Don't ask me why, I don't know. Remember to check the chat to see who it is that we are raiding and check out the raid call for today. Thank you so much for stopping by, and we can't wait to see you next week for more Hidden Magics. Bye now.